Good evening, everybody. This is the Tennessee Oneida Phase 3 Storm Sewer Project community meeting. We're going to give everybody 5 minutes or so to kind of filter in here. So sit tight and then we'll get into the presentation. Thank you. All right, it's 6:05, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. This is the Tennessee Oneida Phase 3 Storm Sewer Project Community Meeting. Today, this presentation is going to cover the team intros. We're going to do some project details, how to stay informed with the project team, and then we'll go over questions at the end. This is a live forum, so type your questions in the chat, and we'll try to answer everything as we're going. Project team members, this is a kind of a joint effort between Denver, Duran Excavation, who's the contractor, Ocean Girl Design, they're our public information team, Denver Water, and RTD. Here's the project team members. That's me on the left there. I'm Aaron McMichael. As part of the city project team, we have Dan Bolda. He will be the project inspector, coordinating with the contractor. And then on the contractor side, we have Josh Duran. He'll be the project manager. And then we have Noah Duran, who is the estimator and project coordinator for Duran Excavation. So here we're talking about kind of the big picture. The city and county of Denver wastewater project will bring stormwater pipe and infrastructure improvements to the neighborhood. This project was divided into 4 separate phases. We began phase 1 down at Lollipop Lake in Garland Park, tied into the Cherry Creek Waterway. And once we end on phase 4 in the future, um, uh, we will that'll end up just on Tennessee Avenue and South Oneida Street. Um, and obviously phases 1 and 2 have been completed. So the where this is phase 3. So work on this third phase will pick up on East Mississippi Avenue, immediately east of South Monaco Parkway, and continue east to South Oneida Street. Why are we here? Project goals. So we're here to mitigate property damage due to local flooding. And on top of that, we're going to increase pedestrian and driver safety during storm events, as well as improving water quality, stormwater runoff into Lollipop Lake and Cherry Creek. The wind. So we're looking at starting construction next month, most likely the beginning part of July. And this project will take up to 9 months potentially. So July start would put us in a March 27 end date. So the main purpose of this project is to install a new 8-inch sanitary main, as well as a new 8-foot by 7-foot precast concrete box culvert. In addition to that work, we'll be installing new manholes, new inlets. We'll be doing sidewalk replacement, new curb and gutter, and new driveway cuts on the south side of Mississippi, as well as new ADA ramps and new asphalt paving all along Mississippi. Work will begin with the installation of the new 8-inch sanitary main in East Mississippi Avenue to make room for a new 8-foot by 7-foot precast concrete box culvert. Once the sanitary main is finished, the crew will pick up where phase 2 left off with the installation of the new box culvert. That new box culvert will continue east on East Mississippi Avenue to South Oneida Street. There we will make a 90-degree turn to the north and will end just north of East Mississippi Ave and South Oneida Street intersection. So here's a nice little schematic showing we're breaking phase 3 into basically 4 different traffic segments. And then we have the storm sewer, which is the 8x7 box culvert going down the middle. That's the green dotted line. And then the sanitary relocation work, that's the smaller dotted line on the south side of Mississippi. So that sanitary work will start up first, and then we'll fall back and start doing the 8x7 box culvert. As the box progresses to the east, as we continue laying towards the east with the box, crews will pause for the installation of the new manholes and inlets, as well as replacing the sidewalk, curb and gutter, and driveway cuts on the south side of Mississippi Ave. With this, with the new ADA and at its intersection, ADA ramps at its intersection with South Oneida Street. And apologize, yeah, what I'm trying to say is we're going to build all new ADA ramps at the intersection of South Oneida and East Mississippi Ave. Along with that, we'll have new full-depth asphalt paving installed along East Mississippi Avenue from South Monaco Street Parkway to the intersection of Mississippi and South Oneida Street. So all new paving throughout that whole section of Mississippi. So here we get into just showing kind of how the work breaks down. So we see again our sanitary relocation on the south there, which basically takes up all of traffic closure segment 1. Then our new box culvert picks up where we left off on the west side of Mississippi and continues on down to South Oneida Street, and you can see where it makes that 90-degree turn at the end. And then the orange box is delineating where all the new manholes, inlets, sidewalk replacement, curb gutter, some driveway cuts, and new ADA ramps, and along with that, new asphalt paving. Here are some examples of previous work from phase 1. Right here we have where we tied into Lollipop Lake. So this is the outlet structure in Lollipop Lake. And as you go towards where that equipment is on the other side of the street there, that's South Cherry Creek Drive. That's Cherry Creek where we have our outfall. But this is just a good example of what we've done on previous phases. And this is an example of phase 2 work. Phase 2 has similarities to phase 3. So you'll see in this picture, we've got same size box culvert. That's 8x7 precast concrete box culvert. That is on Mississippi before you hit the Monaco intersection, but it's west of Monaco. And yeah, that's kind of what we're going to be seeing on this phase. Same size box, and you can see how the area of disturbance there is quite large. And on top of that, our excavation will be about 25 feet wide and about 20 feet deep to get that new box culvert in the ground. More examples of phase 2 work, which are similar to what we'll see on phase 3. You can see on the picture on the left, that's our 8x7 box culvert. Towards the top of the picture, you can see a new manhole riser, which we'll have several of those on phase 3. You can see the large equipment needed to get the box in the ground. A precast box of that size is pretty large, so you'll see a very large excavator on one side of the excavation, and then on the other side, in that right picture, you'll see the backfill machine. I might have that backwards, but anyway, there's usually 2 machines working on one's excavating and putting the pipe in the ground, the other one's backfilling on the other side. But yeah, um, impacts. So impacts. Apologies, my phone rang. So impacts for travel. There will be a full closure of East Mississippi Avenue. The work will be split into four separate traffic closure segments. Um, we're only going to allow two of those traffic closure segments to be closed at a time. So that's what we're showing here. This is kind of our initial traffic control closure. The closure of segments 1 and 2 is expected to last up to 4 to 5 months. Once we complete the work in the first two traffic segments, we will begin the concrete and asphalt work. Once the concrete and asphalt work is done in segments 1 and 2, the box culvert work will continue into traffic closure segments 3 and 4. So we'll just keep moving on down the street. More impacts. So once we are finished with segments 1 and 2, we move into segments 3 and 4. At that time, the full closure of East Mississippi Avenue will remain. The closure of segments 3 and 4 is expected to last up to 4 months. Um, the intersection of East Mississippi Ave and South Oneida Street will be completely closed at that time as well. So in this intersection, uh, we've got a lot of work in Oneida. So we have to construct a transition structure as well as 4 new manholes, 9 new inlets. And when the work is completed, the last two traffic statements in the last two traffic statements, concrete and asphalt work will begin to basically finish up that side of the job. Continuing with impacts, South Monaco Street Parkway will remain open for the duration of the project, which is a good thing. The intersection of East Mississippi Avenue and South Oneida Street will be closed while traffic closure segments 3 and 4 are in effect. While traffic closure segments 1 and 2 are closed, we will allow local traffic into segments 3 and 4. Basically, leaving in the morning, coming home at night, um, so that we can get access to those driveways that are within those segments. Um, once we switch to segments 3 and 4, and they are closed, local traffic will be allowed into segments 1 and 2. Same thing, kind of leaving in the morning, coming back at night from work to access the apartment driveways within those two segments. So more impacts. Yeah. So there will be no on-street parking along Mississippi Ave except for we will be providing limited spaces in designated areas. During the closure of segments 1 and 2, those parking spaces will be on East Mississippi Ave near the Oneida Street intersection. During the closures of segments 3 and 4, those parking spaces will flip over to the Monaco Street uh, side of the project. Contractor will supply parking permits for these limited spaces to residents who will not be allowed to park on Mississippi during those closures. So anybody that's currently using Mississippi as parking, we will provide limited spaces at the end for those in need. Um, Residential access will remain accessible throughout the work, although alternative parking and access routes will be required. Access to pedestrian sidewalks will be maintained. Vehicle detours will be set up around the active work area. Most of our detours will take people for going south to Arizona, and on the north side it'd be Tennessee. We'll work closely with all the residents to make these impacts as manageable as possible. So stay informed. This is the project email, info@tennesseeoneida.com. We strongly encourage you to sign up to receive project updates. Email us to get on the list, and you may also email us with questions and concerns. So if anything comes up along the way, feel free to reach out to us at that email, and we will get your questions or concerns addressed. We will be providing weekly updates via email and as well as on our city website. Construction updates will be emailed at the end of every week while the work is going on. And again, to get on the email list, send us an email to info@10oneida.com. As well, along with the all the other ways to get a hold of us, we have a project hotline as well. So if you don't want to email us, this is another way you can get a hold of us. The number is right there, so please note that number. And you can call or text the project hotline to get updates. You can leave a voicemail and text with questions or concerns, and that'll all get passed on to the project team so we can get those questions or concerns answered. And this is the link to our website. So this is a city website. It'll have all of the information from all of the previous weekly updates, as well as information on how to get a hold of the project team, and the information also on the previous two phases and the last phase 4, which is still in the planning design phase. And now it's the Q&A. So um, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go through these questions that we have in our Q&A. Anonymous, there are 5 garages and 2 carports at 6750 East Mississippi Avenue that empty out directly onto Mississippi. Will those be accessible during construction, and what should those tenants do? So we do have a plan for 6750. It's basically we're going to set up a detour while we're because yeah, those we won't be able to you won't be able to access your driveway or your garage from East Mississippi Avenue, but we'll set up a detour using the sidewalk and some of the landscaping areas there to get you to an entrance where you can get back going on to Arizona. And please, if for anybody that lives at 6750, you can email us and we'll just set up a meeting with you all in person, and we can talk through any questions or concerns and kind of go over things. But we shouldn't, other than you will have the local access when segment 1 and 2 are closed for 6750. It'll just be once we close segments 3 and 4. And yeah, so if anybody has, I'm being told if anybody has raised their hand, please go ahead and type a question instead. We're not able to toggle you on to the meeting, so you have to type your questions if you are raising your hand. All right, so the park is wonderful. Now that's wonderful input. We will definitely pass that on to the project teams from phase 1 there. That's great to hear. I haven't been able to view the meeting. Oh, any suggestions? I didn't see that one. Um, will the city be policing large vehicle parking? We have a lot of semis and large commercial trucks that currently take up a lot of parking. It is not policed. So yeah, there's going to be no parking on East Mississippi Avenue while construction is happening for that full 9 month period. So it'll be no parked all the way down except for those few spaces that we provide. Um, but yeah, so those trucks will have to find another place to park elsewhere. We'll let everybody kind of type their questions away. And just so everybody knows, this meeting will be posted on the website and you'll be able to watch it for reference um, on the website. Yeah, so one user is worried that they will take spaces that actual resident vehicles might need. So that the way we're going to get around that is when the contractor puts in for that full closure of East Mississippi Avenue, we get what's called a right-of-way permit, and we will print out copies of those permits and we'll provide those to the residents that need them. So essentially, it'll hopefully cut down from people not parking there that shouldn't park there. Um, and each of the spaces, instead of a no parking sign in the provided spaces, will say resident parking only. Um, and so we'll have to work with everybody if there's people parking there that shouldn't be. We can see about having them towed or moved around the corner with the tow truck, things of that nature. But the idea is to reserve those spaces for residents only. And yeah, looks like we're having some technical difficulties with the questions, so I think there's a lot more, but we're trying to access them. So just bear with us, and we'll get to where everything's displayed. Um, will the sewer work have any impact on the sewer pipes that feed into it? So for instance, if the pipes for a complex are old, is there a risk that they could be damaged during the project? No, that's a great question, but the storm sewer systems, or the sanitary systems and storm sewer systems that are within the apartment complexes are their own systems, and there's usually one tie-in point. Um, and I know at least for 1000 Monaco, I think the tie-in is um, on Monaco. Um, so long story short, no, we're required to put back any um, any existing utility that we find. So but yeah, long story short, the apartment complexes are their own separate systems with usually one tie-in point, so there shouldn't be an issue there. Okay. Now we're getting some more questions in here. Can you be more specific who will receive parking permits when the street is torn up? Yeah, so specifically people that are currently using East Mississippi Avenue for parking, uh, that will not be able to use it while we have East Mississippi Avenue closed. Those are the ones we will be issuing permits to. So you need to, if you are parked out there, and you know somebody else that's a neighbor that's parked out there, get in touch with us and we'll get those permits issued. Um, Another question, if we have a driveway on East Mississippi Ave and the sidewalk cuts through the driveway, will we, the HOA, have to repave the driveway or will they be undamaged? So, um, driveway cuts are on the south side. If we're talking about the south side, those are the ones that will be affected by our work. And we plan on replacing all the sidewalk, curb and gutter, and driveway cuts on the south side of East Mississippi Avenue. Um, how do you, how do those of us who park have garages on Mississippi request a parking permit? So, anybody that has a garage on East Mississippi Avenue, we are going to provide detours so that they can continue to park inside their garages. Um, they're just going to have to take this kind of small detour over either sidewalk or landscaping to get to where they're going. And we're working on getting HOA approval for that detour right now, for 6570 Mississippi. So those who have garages on Mississippi should not need a parking permit. Start date for phase one, which we're calling traffic closure segment 1 and 2. We're looking at July, early July, uh, kind of pending permit approval right now. We're looking at that first week after the 4th. So, um, I think it's, the 6th of July, tentatively, permit approval pending. Um, I live at 6570. I will be joining the walk with you. Sounds good. Do I need to let you know or am I good? So Joe, that's from Joe Ward. I hear you. Nope. I will just plan on being there at 10 o'clock on Tuesday, June 23rd. And if you live at 6570, and we'll go over um the plan for your guys' garage access. Um Scrolling through question. Okay, so will water be turned off at the residences at any point during the project? If so, what is the notice process? And so yes, the question is yes, we have a couple of hydrant relocations, fire hydrant relocations where we'll have to do some water shutdowns. And that is the uh, the notification process is outlined by Denver Water. So the contractor will be following their notification process. And Josh, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's about a 48-hour notice before any shutdowns happen.
Yep. And it'll just be during the day.
And
We
that's
just got
good.
we just got to make the connection back.
Yep. So normally an 8 hour or so water shutdown, and we'll try to have the water back on uh before dinner time. Will the city be police? Saw that one.
you anticipate as the
Okay, so a follow-up question is, what do we anticipate other than parking? Has there been any other issues that have come up on the previous phases? That's a great question. I would have to kind of ask for more specifics, but um, parking is kind of the biggest impact. Obviously having East Mississippi Avenue closed for that stretch is going to cause some issues with the surrounding traffic and traffic control. We've been working with RTD, and basically it's route number 11 that comes down Mississippi. We've got detour set up for them. So yeah, it's one of those things where I don't have a good answer to that one, but as issues do come up though, we try to take them head on and make sure that we're addressing issues as they come up. So um, rest assured, we're working to make sure that those issues go away quickly. Okay, just want to say thanks for having public meetings. That's greatly appreciated. We thank you for coming to the public meeting. So water shut off, 48-hour notice be sent to the HO manager to tell residents, or will Denver Water notify all addresses involved? That's I mean, yes, we do have contacts with all the HOAs. We've got our weekly updates, so we will be updating everybody, as we know the uh the water shutoffs are coming. The 48-hour notice is an actual flyer that Denver Water requires to be hung on the doors for the affected residences. Um, Josh, how does that work with an apartment complex?
Um, Usually it's all done through with that many residents because they don't have an actual mailbox that I can put anything in. It's usually just done through the website. So people got to
Okay.
check the website.
Sounds good. And so, yeah, along with all of our notifications through the website and the weekly email updates, that information will be available on the Denver Water website as well. So when will we be notified of the start date of this project? So right now we are planning on July 6th, and that's permit pending, but that's pretty much the date right now that we're going with. All right, well, it looks like we are through the questions. So if anybody has any additional questions, concerns, feel free to reach out to the project team via email, text, hotline, however you choose. Yep, here's the info. And we thank everybody for showing up tonight and for participating. And we look forward to working with everybody and making this project a success. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Aaron.